Sure, women who hate themselves and their dates.
Riddle time. What does Ed McMahon have 3 of, Shelley Winters 2 of, and Bull Shannon 1 of? Chins? No. Autobiographies.
Bull on bull.
Real deep, real hip, real bull.
Hey, everybody. Sorry about the
Bull, how'd you
breakdown.
get that book published? Well, after 426 rejections, Random snapped it up.
Random House?
No, Random Author.
Random Author? They're one of those vanity publishing houses. Bull! How much did this cost you?
Only $11 a copy. They said they usually charge Kurt Vonnegut 20.
Oh, big authors don't pay to get their books published. Publishers pay them.
But the
Gee, I'm
breakdown
glad
is
I
going to
didn't
be
take their
on
movie
Wednesday.
deal. Sounds like I've been hoodwinked.
Depends. How many books did you buy?
Just enough to make the bestseller list.
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. I got a question. What rapper sampled this theme song? Yo, that versus was incredible. But I don't know. I missed a little bit of it. Do you guys know if they played down low? No, Ray Sean. I'm watching Night Tour.
Listen to this. After my first rainy night on Manhattan's mean streets, two things became
You guys a
brilliantly
Night Tour on
clear.
the chat?
Jane Pauley doesn't return phone calls, and cantaloupe hats leak.
The man's a wordsmith.
Yes, Ronnie. Yes.
I hope.
So, Dan, how was your evening with that toilet fellow?
That's Potty Man. And for your information, it was sick. It was crass. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Could
Expect a
have saved
review
yourself
on
a few
that.
bucks if you
Confessions of
just stayed
Fire.
here and read the
very
men's
soon.
room walls.
I definitely
I've already committed that to memory. Anyway, Potty Man's jokes were much better. Listen to this one.
We don't want to hear.
Come on. Listen. Why did God give women legs?
Oh,
So
geez.
that when you're through with them, they can leave. Isn't that great? They can leave.
Degrading women doesn't make me laugh.
You people lighten up. It's a joke.
How can an educated man like him laugh at such garbage?
An educated man like him wanted to make synchronized stripping an event at the Pan Am Games. What's next, Mac?
File's on its way, sir.
As I followed the dusty road, and I
Yo.
found this haunting
Yo,
voice
what's good?
in my ears. Ring,
How you doing?
Shut up.
ring, with the phone. No, nobody's home.
You watch that versus?
Well, what do you think?
It was so spiritual.
What up?
The ringing was a metaphor for your halcyon days before you were swept away by the wind.
You watch the
Then
versus?
what up? Ray Sean, Q, Ronnie, Sam, BJ, what's up?
Here's something we don't see every day.
Huh?
Citizens arrest.
Oh, I said you watch the versus.
Yeah, it was good. I watched like some of the rounds, Ron Osley was doing his thing.
Must be a slow news day.
Sure.
I haven't seen him in years. He have a gray beard now and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Earth, Wind and Fire, man, like that was a good music battle.
Very good.
You know what I mean?
You mean, who do I feel?
I know a lot of people not feeling Steve Harvey as the host.
I didn't mind Steve Harvey as a host. Like Steve Harvey is he old school, so I thought that was a good host to for the battle, and he was funny. I've always liked Steve Harvey's comedy anyway, so
Yeah. Shit, remind me of the Steve Harvey show for me.
right,
I was expecting when the fuck hits the fan.
right.
Member jumped up on stage and made
made a citizen's arrest. He's claiming that Mr. Potter's act.
But yeah, I'm just trying to get my room cleaned up a little bit before I start.
It was cool, man.
Your Honor, as much as I am no fan of Mr. Potter's brand of humor, this case is unfounded. Should never come before court.
They played a lot of. Who you think won?
I'll drop my drool.
I can't even pick, man.
I kept hearing a lot of people going for the Isley brothers.
Well, see, that's the thing, because the Isleys, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Earth, Wind, and Fire, if you ask like a general fan, they will say that the best hits came from the 70s up until maybe like the mid 80s. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Isley brothers, they had hits in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. It's easy to pick like 5 hits from each decade and stuff like that a lot of fans enjoy. So I feel like people do say that, you know what I'm saying? Personally, I can't even pick because, yes, that's the one I need.
I thought it was today. I had to pull out all the Teddy vinyl, yo.
What happened was, me and Ash, we didn't finish listening to all the albums on time.
What? How? Y'all had like a whole month to plan this.
I know, but I was going to listen. I was finishing up listening, but I had to go out with my moms and shit. So, yeah. So this week has been busy as hell. The whole Georgia trip and shit like that. I was busy as fuck.
You had a whole month to plan this, and y'all ain't finished. I finished like all 12 albums. Come on.
Don't worry, it's gonna be on Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I might as well show off the vinyl now, you know.
Oh shit. That'll be the last review I do before my week break and stuff. Because Onyx back the fuck up is still Tuesday and shit.
Sam said you bugging you bugging Reg.
I know.
Sam said you bugging Reg.
Nigga, I've been busy.
What up? Guillermo, what's good, yo? Hector, what's up?
But yeah, man.
Some said you bugging, Reg.
Sorry, Sam. Sorry.
You don't know about this.
Oh shit!
What y'all know about this one?
Oh, I saw you had the TP album too.
Yeah, I got. That's one of his best ones, yo.
I agree.
One of his best ones. My man got the drip on, like 5 gold chains on his neck and shit.
Yeah, man. To me, it's either the TP album or the Teddy album. That's my favorite. Or even the It's Time.
I don't know, man, because when I was listening to these albums, I'm like, yo, his first 4, that's like he was in his bag on those joints. Especially on this album, on the TP one with Love TKO and I Just Called to Say, Can't We Try, like.
Yes, a lot of hip hop came from those albums.
And I know, like, was it you that said you didn't care for his other albums after the accident?
All I'm gonna say about those albums was, excluding Joy, because Joy is the classic.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't get to the 90s albums yet, but a lot of the 80s albums It's Time for Love.
To tell you, I didn't like the 90s album, but the 90s albums I didn't care for. And we've seen this before where there's like artists that come out like, from like the 70s and 80s, and then they don't make a good transition in the 90s because it was all about New Jack Swing, and he tried to do that, and I didn't like his. I don't think that sound fit his voice.
Yeah, because I know I heard one of the New Jack Swing songs from the 90s and stuff like that, and I was
right.
Like, yeah.
Clutch, what's good, yo? Salute.
He should have done what Barry White did, because when Barry White came back in the late 80s, early 90s, he still had his sound too, but he still mixed with the contemporary sounds at that time too.
The only albums I like from him from after the accident, like This One's For You. That was the same year he had the accident.
Yeah,
that one is a good, huh?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
That one is a good album. I love that album. Heaven Only Knows. I thought that was an underrated album. I like I like some of the songs. It's not a classic album though, but I like some of the songs on there. Um, but then when you get to like Love Language and Working It Back, I didn't care for those albums.
Oh God, working it back, I did not.
I
I,
didn't like that one at all. There might be like maybe one or two songs on that album I like, and the Joy album. The Joy album, it might be like maybe two songs on there I like too.
whoa, you only like 2 songs off the Joy album?
Yeah, I didn't care for that album like that.
What?
Like
Okay,
a little more magic. I didn't care for that album, and the album cover with the black cat. I didn't like that
yeah,
album cover.
that Black Cat is creepy.
Ah man,
But yeah, I'm gonna say my thoughts on the Teddy album.
Makai was good.
But I was thinking about doing like a rock discography breakdown after Teddy Pendergrass.
Which one you doing?
I'm debating on Bad Brains, Talking Heads, Fleetwood Mac, but only like the Lindsey Buckingham's Fleetwood Mac era, not
Yeah,
that.
but the what Makai is saying, but see, it don't. Every artist don't translate good in each era though. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like Luther, I would say Luther managed to pull that off. You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, Barry White, I haven't listened to all of his stuff.
Oh hell.
You know what I'm saying? With Teddy, with listening to these Teddy albums, like from the very first one to like going into like the early '90s, I don't think that New Jack Swing sound fit his voice though. It don't fit his style to me.
He needed a baby face or something.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like a Babyface or R. Kelly or something. I don't think like that. Like the New Jack sound is not for everybody. Like Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown could pull that off. I don't think when you're dealing with a artist like Teddy Pendergrass, it's gonna translate the same way like for those artists. Marvin Gaye either. Like I don't think Marvin Gaye with a New Jack sound would have been good.
Oh, let's not think like that.
Well, Q said what about Marvin Gaye? So I'm like, nah, I don't think. At least for me, I don't think. I prefer the vintage music from those artists.
Digging up them hoes.
Black Flag, yeah. Sam was the one that asked about Black Flag and Bad Brains and
Yeah, I know. Yeah, trust me. I'll have my final decision by the end of the week.
that's what's up.
I know DJ said Public Enemy, but that might come Juneteenth.
Public Enemy, yeah, that'll be a good one.
DMX, keep your head up.
Yeah,
Okay.
better DMX definitely.
You said what?
I said definitely. I want him to get better, but it's like we've been through this before with DMX.
Right.
You know, it's like this been going on for years, even before he got signed, and it's unfortunate. What's the years you like from Marvin Gaye?
Ooh. My favorite years are 1968 to 1983.
Yeah, basically like from the vintage stuff we did and the stuff he did with Tammy and up until like the last album, you know. I don't know. I can't picture Marvin Gaye doing New Jack Swing, yo. It just sounds weird. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Diana Ross did New Jack Swing, and y'all know what happened with that.
Yeah. I prefer like the vintage sound for those artists. You know, it's even like now. Like if you look at now, like yo, you remember the R&B podcast I was telling you about the I Got Soul,
Yeah.
and they were on last night and they were talking about like artists that if they made like artists in the past like Brian McKnight that made albums or songs that they didn't like but they blew up anyway.
Yeah.
And I never knew when Brian McKnight did You Should Be Mine with Mace, he hated that song.
Oh wow.
He never liked the song, and that was like a big hit. But the record label told him like he like they wanted him to release that song in order for him to release anything as a single.
Yeah.
But he hated that song, and I never knew that. Like, that to me is one of my favorite Brian McKnight songs. I didn't know he didn't like the song or whatever.
Eh, to be
Um,
to be honest,
Cherie,
I don't even care for that song either. To be real with you,
you don't like that song?
I
Oh
mean,
man, that's
I like it, but I don't love it. Because I can understand why Brian McKnight would say that. Because when has he ever, besides LL Scratch, when has he ever collaborated with like a lot of rappers though?
he don't, and that's good because I don't like. I mean, there's certain singers that could pull it off. Like Mary J can do a collab with anybody. She's done it. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce done collabs, but she picks and chooses who to do collabs with. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like it. Like I think like that the artist can get watered down if they do a collab with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So
Wyclef.
right, but Cherie Dennis. You remember Cherie Dennis when she was on Bad Boy?
Who?
Cherie Dennis. She was a
Um,
singer on Bad Boy. She came out like the early 2000s.
no.
But when she was on Bad Boy, she didn't like the album that Puffy put out for her because he was trying to make her sound like Faith Evans or whatever.
You
You
want
know what I'm
that?
saying?
That-
So she had issues with Diddy, and that's why she ended up leaving Bad Boy or whatever.
Wow.
You know, but I get it though. You know what I'm saying? But I just like I love that Brian McKnight song, but I don't think every artist should do what's trendy now because they might not sound good with whatever is hot right now.
I feel you. Yeah, I'm ready to start with you, Wabba.
Let's go.
All right, you too. How's everyone doing this lovely Sunday night before the week starts? The best place to be. It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
What up?
Um, so pretty much I have to reschedule something, but I got something up my sleeve. So recently, me and Try have been talking a lot about hip hop and diss tracks and subliminals, and we both have different views about subliminals and hip hop, and we always go back to Mob Deep's "Drop a Gem on Them."
Hmm.
And so I want to ask: is subliminals in hip hop necessary? All right, so I'm gonna have Try. I'm gonna have you start and stuff.
I think it's necessary if you're planning on going at that artist. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's like a friendly, sometimes they're not friendly, but if it's like a friendly battle, and like let's say like tonight we saw, two greats, the Osley brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire. Like if they had thrown like subliminal shots at each other back in the day, but it was a friendly type of thing, I don't have a problem with that. But if it's like you throwing a jab at an artist and out of nowhere, and we don't really have no history on where that just out of the blue. Like what I don't. My whole thing is like keep it on wax. That's my whole thing. If you're gonna throw a jab at Kendrick, you know keep it like that. You like keep it on wax. Don't be like, oh, when I see Kendrick in LA, this is what's gonna happen. And you know what I'm saying? Because we've already lost two legends over gun violence because of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just living through that whole Biggie and Pac thing, that was a disaster, and I felt like the media benefited from that whole thing. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So you know me, I just feel like subliminals, I don't care for them. It's like if you got beef with somebody, say their name. Like the same way Pac called out LL Cool J and the Fugees and Mobb Deep and Jay-Z, everybody he had beef with. The same way 50 Cent did it with when he had beef with Fat Joe and the Locks or whoever, Cameron. You know what I'm saying? Like say that person name. Like you kind of like making the listener have to scratch their head and figure out who they talking about. So I don't care for subliminals. If I had a beef with somebody, I'm saying their name. So that's just me.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't even know. Like the NWA song "Real Niggas."
Right.
Everyone thinks that was just a diss at Ice Cube, but they were also throwing shots at Mob Style too on that.
Right.
Because you know when Easy said black, the good, the bad, the ugly, you were referring to Mob Style, and I didn't even know about that because Mob
Right.
Style dissed them and shit. And a lot of people say that that was really the beginning of East Coast West Coast beef and shit. Ultramagnetic MCs, they did that good with plucking cards.
Right.
Um, who else? Jay Z and DMX, they threw shots subliminally on the Time to Build track from Mike Geronimo.
See, I didn't even know that, and I've heard that song like 20 something years ago. Didn't even know that.
But I think when it comes to hip hop, sometimes that you know what I'm saying, that when it comes to subliminal, and I call it a bait because sometimes the subliminal might not be aimed at you,
Right.
but it's still you still caught in the beef and stuff. Like when Tupac thought that Nas was talking about him on the message,
Right.
when he was really talking about Biggie and stuff too. So who else? Remy Ma thought Nicki was talking about her on the song "Make Love with Gucci Mane," but
Hmm.
Nicki wasn't talking about her. A lot of people say she was talking about Azalea Banks. So
See that's why I'm saying like that causes a lot of miscommunication and confusion, and it might not be necessary because you're not really coming out and stating who you have an issue with. You just insinuating, oh well, I got beef with so and so, but I'm gonna let the fans figure out who I'm talking about.
right,
You know, like see, like for me, I grew up in the era when diss songs they were calling you out. When UTFO made the Real Rock Sand, we know who they were talking about in that song. When Karis One came out with the Bridge Is Over in South Bronx, we knew who he was talking about, MC Shan. You know what I'm saying? Kim and Foxy, everybody knew about their beef. That's not a secret. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the era I come from. It's like they wasn't doing subliminals too much like that. Like we often knew who they were taking shots at. They used to make mixtapes out off of like diss songs and Cameron going at Stan Spit, and the Lost Boys had their issues with I forgot who it was. They had beef with back then, but
oh, Lost Boys had beef with people.
yeah, the Lost Boys made a diss track. I don't know. I forgot who it was. They had beef with.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and um you know Cormega had his issues with Nas, and so did Noriega, and what I'm saying, like we knew who they were taking shots at. It was like now it's like people throw shots on the record. You don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick came out with that one verse on the Control song, the Big Sean joint, and going at the whole East Coast. I ain't hear no other than Joel Ortiz and Lupe,
Papoose.
Papoose. I didn't really hear nobody like major address Kendrick. Like they were afraid of Kendrick, and that reminded me of when Pac when Pac came out and was going at the East Coast, and when Dog Pound came out with New York. New York is like niggas here was like scared of them. Like where was Jay-Z at? I didn't hear Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like Mobb Deep was like the only ones really. I didn't hear Wu-Tang take no shots at niggas.
And it's funny that you said Jay Z because you guys remember Money Cash shows. This is a good Jay was like the East hasn't been the same since Snoop crushed the buildings or the East
Right.
was scared.
Right.
And I want to say it was either Prodigy or Noriega. I want to say it was Prodigy that was just like, how the fuck you gonna say that when you weren't saying shit? Pretty much, when Pop was dissing you alive.
Exactly.
They were the ones that were really risking their lives.
Jay was really quick to respond to Nas with Takeover, and then with Super Ugly when after Ether came out. But he was silent as a mouse when Pac was dissing him, and he still got unreleased tracks that never came out that he's like calling Jay-Z name out. I didn't hear you go at Tupac then.
Yeah, just
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't get you. Like you was really quick to respond to Nas and Mobb Deep, and didn't he have like beef with J.O. from there at one point?
Yeah, he had beef with J.O.
Right.
He threw subliminals at Jada Kiss at one point.
Right. 3 cuts in your eyebrows trying to wild out. Jada Kiss to me would smoke him in a battle lyrically. I
Yeah,
love Jay, but I love Jadakiss even more than Jay.
yeah. Stay tuned for that Beanie and Jadakiss episode. 'Cause I'm gonna talk more about that shit.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know. I like I said, I just felt like at that point the West Coast was like they had some of these cats over here shook.
Yeah, and speaking of the West Coast, they were not afraid to call motherfuckers
Right,
out by name because even Hammer called out LL Cool J and Run DMC on that "Let's Get It Started" track.
right.
Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Above the Law. You know, when the whole Tim Dog shit, everybody was calling out Tim Dog and shit. And
I,
then,
right.
oh,
No, I was just saying like the 95 Source Awards. I felt like there was a lot of tension at that award show. It was very West Coast. It was a very West Coast. I don't want to say favoritism, but the West Coast was running the charts at that time. You know, Dre and Snoop and Death Row and you know what I'm saying. You had a lot of good West Coast music out of that time. You know, MC8, DJ Quick, and I felt like it was a very West Coast heavy show in New York City, and that's something we've never seen before. I've never seen a show like that where it was like most of the awards were won by like West Coast artists. And just the whole aura of that show, it was like you could feel the tension. So I mean, you know, again, I just felt like when Death Row was on top of the charts, I didn't hear a lot of these artists come out and say anything, including Bad Boy. Like, you know, Puffy stopped Biggie from saying anything, and Big, you know, Big could have took them. He could have took them cats. You know what I'm saying? Like any one of them. Like if it was a battle against Big and Snoop, he would have took Snoop or Dog Pound, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Puffy, you know, put a cap on that. You know what I mean? And you know, it made New Yorkers feel some type of way. Like yo, like y'all not gonna respond to the Dog Pound and what they had to say. Y'all not gonna respond to so and so. What Snoop said at the Source Awards. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it wasn't no subliminals back then. Like we knew who they were talking about. Y'all don't love us. Y'all don't love the Snoop and Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like we knew who they was talking about. Today's era is totally different. You know?
Jake Roxanne and Shantae called out everybody on Big Mama.
Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like when Kim went at Foxy, we already knew about that. We knew they couldn't stand each other. It wasn't like if Nicki come out and throw a subliminal at Remy, and Remy came out and totally destroyed it with Sheeta. She wasn't throwing no subliminals. She already came out and let you know who she was talking about. You know? Cruz, what up?
What's up, Cruz?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, I don't care for subliminals. I'd rather you come out and say the artist's name. If you're gonna do a battle, then come out and let it be known you're going at this person.
I can respect a clever subliminal, to be honest with you. Like the subliminal that Jay threw at Mace when they had a little in the war. Those were some clever ones.
Right. And Mace to me was slept on as an MC. I'm like, yeah, even if Jay won that battle, I don't think that would have been a easy out. I think Mace was talented. You know what I'm saying? And again, like, you know, that's all Puffy. You know what I'm saying? Puffy was best friends with some of these cats. So it was like if Mace is going at Jay and Jay is best friends with your boss, that's like a conflict of interest right there. Eminem, there's never been one diss song that Eminem made and he was throwing subliminals. Every diss song he made, you knew who it was about. If he had beef with Everlast, he called Everlast out on Quitters. If he had beef with Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, he did the same thing. Or Moby, Jermaine Dupri, who else he had beef with? Benzino, Nail in the Coffin. You remember that joint he did?
Yeah.
And called out Benzino and totally destroyed him. I've never heard a Eminem subliminal ever. If he has, then y'all gotta like let me know what song he did. Cause every diss song he did, he called people out by name. BJ said Cam over. Oh yeah, Cam over Mace. Yeah, discography. Yes, definitely. But I always felt like Mace was underrated lyricist. You know what I'm saying? He has one classic to me, but I think he has a lot of dope features, and he was slept on again because he was on Bad Boy, and they were all about the commercialism.
Pick up chicks late at night. I got a great opening line. Don't scream or I'll shoot.
And Kai said East Coast back then was all about battling niggas. Yeah, I mean, that's what it was for over here. We didn't throw too many subliminals at people.
Shut up. Hey, Judge, how about we kill the house fights?
How about you kill us with some of
well,
your jokes?
Dougie first called out for Fat Boys and shit.
I never heard that one.
Yeah, that was on the that dude, the last survivor member of Fat Boys that was doing the Vlad interview.
How did they have a beef? Dougie Fresh and the Fat Boys?
I'm guessing because it's beatboxing and stuff like that. I guess I haven't watched the full interview. So.
Well, Dougie Fresh is the king of that. So if it came down to a battle, Dougie Fresh is winning that all day.
Not even Big Mark he can touch on.
Yeah, I love Biz, but he not fucking with Dougie Fresh when it comes to that.
What do they call an African American?
Vazel was good too, but even he not messing with Dougie Fresh when it comes to that.
The defender.
Oh no.
I know, it's just part of the act.
BJ said Ernie Isley's an underrated guitarist.
What do you call an African American in uniform?
I don't want to really say he's underrated, but I feel like he's getting more respect in this generation.
Well, yeah, that too.
But I respect your opinion.
How's Jay and Wu Tang was scared of the dog pound?
Three blind mice.
They didn't respond to them. Jay and Wu Tang could have easily responded to New York, New York. I didn't hear nothing from Wu Tang. They stayed out of that whole.
Cause Wu Tang was cool with them niggas though.
I know, but I'm saying it's like when all that was going on, and you had artists taking shots at certain East Coast artists. Why nobody from the West was taking shots at Wu Tang?
People gotta remember this about New York, New York. It is not a diss to New York. It's paying homage to New York. The video happened because of I feel like they did the video because they just felt disrespected and Biggie was throwing shots at them during the Funk Master Flex interview and stuff.
So when you see Snoop Dogg in the New York video kicking down the buildings and they got shot at. They did the video in Bushwick and they got shot at on the video set.
Yeah.
People was pissed off. They didn't want them over here. Like when they going up to Hot 97 and they talking about and they promoting the dog food album and they're bragging about New York coming out and the beef or whatever. They didn't want them over here. That's why they got shot at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, we were pissed off and we felt like the video was disrespectful to New York and just the things that they were saying in that whole chorus. You know what I'm saying? When people come to New York or whatever, if you're out of towner, yeah, we felt some type of way. But I didn't hear Jay say nothing about that. Even if he was cool with them, you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't do a song with them till the Dynasty album when he did the Change the Game remix with them. People forget about that remix that he did with the Dog Pound.
Mm-hmm.
That was way later. After everything like settled down and was calm. You know what I'm saying? But where was you then? You wasn't quick to respond to Pac, but you was quick to respond to Nas. It's almost like he was disrespecting Pac, like saying, "Oh well, Pac ain't on my level, but Nas is. That's why I'm going at this nigga." You know what I'm saying? You even responded to J.O. Felony. I ain't never felt like J.O. Felony was on his level.
They could sleep on Jay. That's what I got.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was dope, but I mean, for Jay to respond to him, it's like, so you don't think nothing of Pac, but you think J.O. Felony is worthy of a response?
What? I like show tunes.
That wasn't a diss. Well, we felt like it was a diss track over here, Hector. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see niggas kicking down our buildings in the video, that I felt like we was disrespected over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be real with you about that. We didn't take that as no, like they saluting us. You know what I'm saying? But what if that was Mobb Deep making a remember Mobb Deep did the response with CNN, the LA. What if they went out to Cali and in their video they were like destroying the Hollywood sign in the hills. How would y'all feel about that? Y'all would take that like we saluting Cali, or we disrespecting y'all? You know what I'm saying? So you see like the way that it came off as like, yo, like they really talking shit, and then they were in Times Square with the Impalas bouncing up and down with the hydraulics, and we didn't take that, lightly. You know, Karis One dissed X Clan and PM Dawn, and Ice Cube on Sex and Violence album. He did that
So I
video
got
after they
some
shot him.
updates.
What video? Snoop Dogg,
So I got-
Imagine, or Dr. Dre The Message?
That's the good question.
Snoop Dogg, Imagine? What album that's from?
Blue Carpet.
I don't remember that song.
Oh man, Dr. Dre produced that one.
Dr. Dre did a lot on that album. I don't remember that song. I gotta hear that. It's been years since I heard that album.
Oh man, yeah, that's like one of my favorites on that album.
He did that video after they shot at him? Who are you talking about? What video?
New York, New York. I got some updates about DMX.
What you mean he did that video after they shot at him? I don't understand. They got shot at when they were filming the New York video over here. Karis One destroyed Nelly? Yeah, I wasn't even a battle. I do agree with Nelly's point though. I feel like, who is Karis One to say that they can't come into hip hop and make a life? You know what I'm saying? Like he's some gatekeeper or whatever. You don't have to listen to Nelly. Like I don't listen to Nelly. You know what I'm saying? Like Nelly ain't for everybody.
So they're gonna hold a prayer visual for DMX Monday.
That's good. Where at?
Outside the suburban New York hospital where he's located. White Plains Hospital.
Karis One kicking down the towers? Yeah, but they were doing. I remember when they were here. They were doing the video here, and they got shot at. They, you know what I'm saying? Like they went to that same week they shot the video here. They went to Funkmaster Flex when he was at Hot 97, and they were talking about. Flex was the one that actually broke that news on the radio that they got shot at while they were over here making the video. Karis One had a point. But my whole thing is like, who is so Karis One is just gonna tell any and everybody, oh, you can't be in hip hop, and you know what I'm saying? If Nelly could, came in and made a life out of what he did as an artist, that's his business. We ain't gotta listen to him. I don't fuck with trap or mumble rap. It don't mean like, oh, I don't feel. If they making a life out of coming in the game, then that's good, because there was once upon a time when this genre wasn't. A lot of people didn't consider this genre a long-lasting genre. They thought it was gonna be done a long time ago, and it's the best genre out there. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't like an artist, you ain't gotta listen to them. That's what I'm trying to find out. I don't know what heck they're talking about. You saying somebody got shot out the video? Did they get shot at more than once?
I wouldn't be surprised.
What you mean? I don't. Hip hop is very alive. What do you mean? It never died. You know what I'm saying? It's you as the listener know what you like. Okay? You don't let radio or the internet or social media determine what is hot to you. I've never done that. You know what I'm saying? You know how many, like, I haven't listened to the radio in like 20 something years. I've never let the radio dictate what's hot to me. If I like an album and I fuck with that artist, then I fuck with them. I don't care about Clutch, what's good, welcome back. I don't care about what Hot 97 is playing 17 times a day, what's in the heavy rotation, or what social media dictate is hot. You as the person, You have a mind. You have to figure out what you like and what you don't like. You don't let somebody else, even if it's word of mouth. And back then we had only word of mouth and magazines to go off of. There was no internet. Okay. Even if your homeboy come to you and be like, "Yo, check out this Jeezy album." I've never liked Young Jeezy. I don't have none of Young Jeezy shit. I thought he was whack. But I got homeboys that fuck with Jeezy, and they've come to me in the past and be like, "Yo, check out this Young Jeezy album. Thug Motivation 101 and his mixtape. I don't like it." You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Like, I prefer Rick Ross over Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I like. You know what I'm saying? When you walk into a sneaker store, at least for me, when you walk into a sneaker store, what are you in the sneaker store for? Are you going window shopping, or are you going for like a certain type of brand that you want? The new J's dropped, or maybe you want a pair of Vans or some Reeboks or something. I'm not window shopping when it comes to shit that I know that I want already. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this shit, I already know what I like and what I don't like. So, like the trap and mumble rap, I'm not checking for that. That's just not for me. But when you talk about Griselda, I'm checking for that. When you talk about, Rome Streets and Flea Lord, I'm checking for them. Shay Noah. So you don't let nobody dictate what it is that's hot out there. You have to figure out what it is that you like, and you roll with that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like you can always like taste other genres and feel and be like, yo, like, oh, okay, let me check out Billie Eilish new album. I don't care for that. Let me check out, Dua Lipa. Maybe you might like her. You know what I'm saying? But you should already know what you like and what you don't like. I don't ever let, you know, social media and this that dictate what it is that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop has always been alive. We went through different eras and different spurts or whatever. The South was, running things in the 2000s, and a lot of East Coast artists were like, trying to sound like the South. And then like it slowly we got to see New York come back because of artists like Griselda and Shay Noah and Flea Lord and Pounds and those type of artists. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's in a great place still. I don't ever feel like it was dead. In what way is hip hop still alive? Well, why do you think hip hop is dead? Like, tell me. Like, I would like to know. I don't understand why you feel like it's dead. I'm not agreeing with what Nas. First of all, that Hip Hop Is Dead album to me was trash. I don't like Hip Hop Is Dead. I didn't think it was I didn't think it was a good Nas album. I love Nas, but let's be real. Not every album he have out is a classic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going by what Nas have to say. I mean, Nas, if he felt like hip hop was dead, that's his opinion. I don't feel like hip hop ever died. Only Joey keeps you up. J. Cole, Kendrick. Yeah, that's and those are the artists I listen to. But overall, I don't feel like hip hop has ever died. You know, like I said, it went through different eras. The East was very big back in the day. The West Coast came on the scene. The South had something to say, and they did their own thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever feel like the genre was dead. It just we went through different periods.
Yo, off topic. Why is Tyrese and Tank having an argument on the verses?
Was it?
Yeah,
I didn't
because
see that.
I'm on Twitter, right? And then
Mm.
and all of a sudden I see Tyrese trending. I'm like, what the fuck this nigga do now? So I click on this shit. It's so Tyrese is saying some shit like, um, I don't know the shade room said Tyrese says he wants another album with TGT, but it ain't quite work
Oh
out.
God, he's still with that?
And then listen to this. Tank says he means we couldn't get a second album out of him. And then Tyrese says 50 years I couldn't even get a second album out of TGT.
I didn't listen to the first one, so
My question, why y'all even worried about this shit when y'all watching the Earth, Wind, and Fire?
exactly. How you they arguing about a stupid TGT album when you got legends performing right now?
Fuck TGT.
Crazy, yo.
Fuck TGT, yo.
Yeah, it's gotten. I will say like the genre is evolved into other genres where we didn't really see that, back then. You know what I'm saying? Like you have more artists now that they're crossing over into other genres, and I think that's good for the genre. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's like not every artist is gonna be for everybody, and it was like that even back in the day. A lot of people didn't fuck with Young MC. I don't know anybody that, huh?
I don't.
Young MC wasn't for everybody. Neither was Arrested Development, and they've gotten Grammys. You know what I'm saying? And not every artist is gonna be for you. Like some people love Post Malone, some people don't care for him. Some people love the baby, some people don't care for him. Not every. You have to know again. You have to know what you like and what you're looking for, regardless of what's out. You know what I'm saying? You got to sift through whatever is out and look for what you want to hear. One thing that hip hop heads need to understand that you don't need to have attention or views. Yeah, I don't go by follows and all that, and I don't care about all that.
Niggas don't know nothing about that. Sun rises in the east.
Right? He says I feel hip hop is dead because there's no hip hop artists are catching my attention.
What?
You can only count a few artists that can rap. More than half the hip hop artists don't even. Again, you have to know what it is that you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about the mainstream, then you already know how mainstream artists differ from underground artists or indie artists. So that's what I try to look for. Like what artist is doing different is different from the next artist.
Right.
You're always gonna have those cookie cutter artists that when something blow up, a lot of these labels are gonna latch on to that and then come out with all these wannabe artists because one person blew up off of that style or whatever or sound.
And then once that style gets old, they're gonna forget about that artist.
Exactly, exactly.
Right?
Ray Sean said, "I like R&B, rock, hip hop, and New Jack Swing because they're fun to listen to. I'm not a huge fan of country because I'm not well versed within the genre or they're not my cup." Yeah, I feel you. I'm not a big country fan. I know some country songs, but I'm not there yet with country music.
Country.
Sam said I hate country music also.
Country.
Are there any I don't understand the question, Q. Are there any unless Marvin Gaye songs? What you mean? I don't know what you mean. Is that a Christmas song you playing?
Yeah. No, because I was listening to that De La Soul song Simply,
Mm.
and I know that they sample this song for it, so I just like to always play this song.
Yeah, J Royale is dope. When me and Reg used to be on Speak Your Cloud, I first heard about J Royale, and I listened to his album, and he's a dope artist. Again, like if that's the type of artist that you're trying to listen to, then he's gonna be for you. I don't like the views and um how many like followers he have don't matter to me. Like he could have one follower, it wouldn't matter to me. I don't go by that. I go by the music. Clutch put up the Christmas tree emoji. I thought it sounded familiar. I'm like, that's a Christmas song you playing?
Yeah, because I know people be like, "Oh, he's not commercially successful, so he ain't nobody," and some shit. But
But we've always seen that though. That's nothing new. Mike Geronimo wasn't no commercial artist. He tried to do commercial and then it ruined his career and he regret it now. But we knew who he was back then. Royal Flush. We knew who he was back then. Even J.O. Felony. He wasn't a commercial artist. You know what I'm saying? I don't go by that. Like I go by the music. Like commercial is sometimes it's deliberate for that artist. Sometimes a lot of the times the label will push that artist to be commercial if they see something in them. And some of the times it just happens. You know what I'm saying? Like Busta Rhymes going solo from Leaders of the New School. When he went solo, he wasn't a commercial artist. He only started they started pushing him as that because after the first album did so well. So every album he had like a big commercial single on there. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Common. When Common was never commercial. Like the minute he hooked up with Kanye West, they started promoting his stuff like more. You know, and it helped that he was also in Hollywood doing movies like John Wick, and you know what I'm saying. So it don't work out like that for like Talib Kweli is not a commercial artist, and he's tried to do the commercial thing. You know,
Your favorite rapper,
what's that?
Talib Kweli.
That's not my favorite rapper. Underrated rapper. He's not my favorite though. I think you more worried about that, Zion. You more worried about the like people following and all that. Like if you're an artist, like then I would, I guess that would be a big thing. Like how many views and stuff you get. But like as a fan of music, I don't care about followers and how much attention they get. I get artists hitting me up all the time, like you know, asking me to check out their music, and they don't have a lot of followers, but they sound dope.
I'm gonna stay up about 10 more minutes.
Shout out to the man who eat the cookie and not peach, sweating it.
What?
What the hell is that? I don't know what y'all be saying sometimes on here, man.
Y'all be having your own little rainbow.
I don't. I'm totally lost with what you're saying now, DJ Tim. Oh, Q meant, are there any unreleased Marvin Gaye songs? There's a whole bunch. He has.
Oh yeah. Hey, yo, I would recommend you getting the I Want You the Rarities edition. You will not regret it.
Why doesn't Lady Silk listen to soul music? You gotta ask her. I'm not. I don't know. She's into hip hop.
So why they asking me? Or like I know these people this shit.
I don't know. I don't know.
Y'all asking me like
JD Kiss is commercial to you, Makar?
Are we coming towards
He's a commercial artist to you. What makes him commercial? I never thought he was commercial. I mean, he had again like he had radio play for certain songs. I don't feel like he's a commercial artist.
all right?
Jurassic 5, as long as we mention it, that's all that should matter. I have Jurassic 5 quality control on vinyl.
not a fan.
I love that album. I thought they were underrated. They wasn't going for radio play. It wasn't commercial.
Trash.
You know what I'm saying? That's all that should matter. Like everybody don't need to mention an artist for them to be dope. If I mention that artist, that's all that should matter. Like if I fuck with them and you trust my judgment and I'm telling you Jurassic 5 album was dope, then that's all that should matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about what the masses have to say. I've never cared about that. You're going by what other people say when it should be about what you like as a person. Because you and your homeboy might not like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, like I have homeboys that love Young Jeezy and ASAP Rocky. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a fan of them cats like that. Whereas I might fuck with Flea Lord, and I might fuck with Rome Streets, and they might not like them cats. But that's okay. Everybody's not gonna like the same thing.
I,
Heck to send nobody on dry land.
you said what?
Y'all having your own conversations here, man. I don't understand what I'm reading. Why do the younger generation always say that we don't respect their generations when it comes to music? Because they're young. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it is. Because when they get our age, they're gonna see what we were talking about to them in 20 years.
They
That's
think,
just how I look at it. Like they're young, and when they get older, then they'll see what I was talking about.
they think they're simple.
The discography. You think Jadakiss discography was commercial? I don't think so. he made commercial songs. I don't think when I listened to Kiss the Game Goodbye, I don't think that was a commercial album.
Yeah, that album was fire.
You know, that's his best album to me. You know, was it Kiss of Death? That had some commercial joints, but that wasn't an album that I liked anyway. I thought it sounded outdated. You know, Top Five That Are Alive. I like some songs. I didn't think that was a great album. The Last Kiss, same thing with that. You know, you listen to Freddie versus Jason album with Fabulous. That to me was a dope album, but Def Jam did little promotion for that album. I don't think it's a commercial album at all. But yeah, Vanilla Ice and Hammer definitely they were commercial.
Oh yeah.
What album you talking about from Jada? I only think he has one solid great album to me.
Who?
Jada.
You said not one solid good
I
album.
think he has one solid. The first one was his best one to me. I think
Alright.
that's his most solid album.
What did you think of the last Kiss album?
I like some songs. I didn't care. I don't think it was an overall great album though.
I love that song with Nas. What if? I like that song better than Why. I'm gonna be real with you.
Okay.
I'm tired of Why.
And that again, that is his. That was a commercial song. That's like his signature song now that people know. Because he before then he didn't really do a song like that. You know what I'm saying? And they played it a lot.
He was just asking some stupid
You know what I'm
questions.
saying? But I don't feel like he has a solid discography though. I think, like I said, I think his first album is his best one. Just like Mace, I think Mace's first album is his best one.
Why is Jada Kiss as hard as it gets? Like, what the
Why doesn't Jadakiss have a solid discography? That's what he needs to ask himself.
Why is this song so fucking stupid? It's like he's trying to make a political point, but some of the questions was so fucking stupid. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the Locks album, yes, Locks album was mainstream because it was on Bad Boy. Anything on Bad Boy, whether you was a rapper or R&B artist, it was going to radio. And that's really not the album that they care for. That's really not the album that the fans like. They prefer the We Are the Streets.
Right.
Kiss the Game Goodbye is his best album. I didn't care. I love that first one. The second one, it just sounded outdated. Like there's some songs on there I didn't care for. It didn't really hold up. Do you think Tupac was commercial?
Hell no.
What when y'all say commercial, what are y'all going off of though? Y'all going off of album sales and what are y'all going off of? Because I'm not. I don't think some of these artists were commercial at all. You know, if you do like a couple movies and stuff like that, do y'all take that into consideration as commercial? I mean, cause Saigon was on Love and Hip Hop. He's not no commercial artist. You know, Joe Budden, he was on Love and Hip Hop. He got his own podcast. Is he commercial? I don't think he's a commercial artist. All Eyes on Me was definitely commercial. Why do you say that?
I've heard many people say that.
Why? What makes that album commercial though? The songs that came out and that was successful. I don't hear commercial when I hear that album. It's just a dope ass album that blew up. You care too much about album sales, Zion. I see that already. I don't care about albums. All Eyes on Me couldn't have sold nothing, and it still would be a dope album to me. Like whether it went diamond or gold or wood, I wouldn't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a thing. That was never a thing for me. Even now, like streaming and all that, and I don't care about how many streams or artists have and all that stuff.
Right.
J.O. Felony, Corrupt, and Cormega, Deep Blue Sea. You ever heard that song?
I heard it a while back though.
I never heard that joint. That's on J.O. Felony's album?
Yeah.
I gotta hear that one. I never heard that joint. You dictate albums or songs that are commercial mainstream based on sound and quality. So if it sounds like crystal clear, it's gonna be a mainstream success. I don't understand.
I mean, it's like 3 more comments and I'm not sure.
Did you prove your point on subliminals, Reg?
Yeah, I did prove my point.
You did.
Yeah.
Hector's going to bed. Okay, Hector.
All right, Hector. But I stand by what I said pretty much.
I prefer the artist come out and say the person name, cause all these years like listening to Drop a Gem, you wouldn't if you didn't know who Mobb Deep was and you just heard that song, you wouldn't know who they were talking about.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas like when you hear on the Infamy album when they did Crawling was about Jay-Z because they said Jay-Z's name in the song. Why didn't they do that with Pac in Drop a Gem? You see what I'm saying? Like when you hear the Crawling song, you hear them H to the Izzo. That's Jay-Z. We know who they talking about. You feel me? Again, like you have to like if you was a new listener to Mobb Deep and you got to the Hell on Earth album and then you hear Drop a Gem, you know they talking about somebody, but you don't really know who they talking about because they ain't say his name. But we know who they talking about.
Right.
After Me Against the World, you didn't like the direction he went in. He was mad. That's how I looked at it. I just thought he was mad. He was out on bail, and you know, some people say Suge Knight was behind that whole thing, and
They said Suge Knight was behind the whole thing.
huh?
He said, what about Suge Knight?
Like I used to think that Suge was like putting the battery in his back, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he felt like he owed Suge because Suge got him out of jail or whatever. And Interscope didn't do that, and nobody else was doing that for him. So Suge came to his rescue. And I've heard people say that like they felt like he owed Suge, by doing that, even though he didn't really want to be like a part of that whole East. Like that's why he was making the One Nation album because he wanted to end the whole beef with Biggie and you know what I'm saying and unite the two coasts or whatever. So that part I do believe that he was gonna do that. I mean, because we the One Nation album we heard the tracks. You know what I'm saying? So but he was angry. Like I felt like he was angry while he was incarcerated. A lot of people was talking shit about him, Wendy Williams included. When she used to when he got incarcerated for the rape case, and after the shooting incident at Quad Studios, Wendy was on the radio calling this nigga one ball because supposedly like the bullet went through one of his balls or whatever. I don't know how true that is.
Oh shit.
And she was saying on the radio that he got raped when he was in jail and all this other crap. That's why he made that song about it. Why you turning on me? If anybody heard that song, you know what I'm talking about because he dissed the shit out of Wendy Williams on that song, and she was doing that. So he was pissed off when Suge came to his aid and got him free, and he still had cases pending while he was out on bail. You know what I'm saying? So he was pissed off, and you could hear him being angry on All Eyes on Me, and especially on the Machiavelli album. And that's what I took it as. Like he was pissed off about the things that went down, and then you had the whole, East Coast West Coast thing to fuel the flames, and that's what it was. But I do believe at some point he was gonna end that feud and unite everybody. And I think certain people didn't want to see that happen because the record labels and the publications and the radio stations, they were feeding off of what was going on in the streets. They were feeding off of that. Every hip hop magazine you pulled out at that point, Vibe magazine, The Source, Rap Pages, they all had the cover story of East Coast West Coast beef.
Hell, the whole Biggie and Puff vibe.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying. And even with the radio stations were playing. They were being over here. They were being more favoritism to Bad Boy, and not the West Coast and not the South. And you know what I'm saying. I seen all that shit unfold. You know what I'm saying. And that's why I didn't get caught up in that because I supported Death Row. I supported, the Southern artists. It wasn't. It was never about location for me. And a lot of people fell into that trap. They fell into that trap. Oh, East Coast is better. West Coast is better. This and that. You know what I mean. I didn't get caught up in that shit. When Wendy Williams is a fat form, fat bitch. Yeah, something like that. He said on in the song though.
You said what?
When he was talking shit at the end of the song about Wendy, he was like you gonna put a hit out on Jenny Craig for that fat bitch.
Jesus Christ.
You never heard that song?
I heard it. That's why I just said Jesus Christ. He was just.
That shit was crazy, yo. That's what I'm saying. Like Pac didn't care. Like if you had beef with you, he called you out, male or female. He did not care. All coasts are good, exactly. I don't care if you're from another country. That I listen to many artists that's not from this country. Why they never say nothing about that? I never hear nobody say, "Oh, fuck Ed Sheeran. He's from Ireland. I can't listen to him." You never hear about no country beef with other artists. They tried to do that with R&B. Well, why is Sam Smith and Adele invading R&B? You know, Reg listening to the Temptations.
Yeah.
I think Ronnie and Sam is in your bed right now. Like they in your room right now. They know what you playing.
Right. But anyway, I'm about to actually end it off for the night. Cause I gotta do some planning before I go to bed. But this has been a real. Tuesday is the Onyx Back the Fuck Up review. Can't wait for that
Yes,
one. And
yes,
Wednesday is the breakdown. So really cannot wait.
yes.
So make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like, and I'll see y'all later.
Sam said, "What day are you doing the Big L picture?"
After I come back from my break,
Okay,
probably that next week I come back. I'll let you know.
all right.
All right. Peace.
Peace.